Peppa versus the giant carrot monster. It was a sunny morning in Peppa Pig's garden. George, with his little spade, was very excited. "Carrot," he squealed, pointing to a tiny seed. Daddy Pig helped him plant it, explaining how important it was to water it every day. George was a very dedicated gardener. Every morning, rain or shine, he would rush outside with his watering can. Peppa would watch, sometimes giggling as the little sprout pushed through the earth. "It's growing, George," she'd say. But this carrot wasn't just growing. It was growing very fast. Soon, it was as tall as George, then as tall as Peppa. Mummy Pig thought it was quite impressive. "What a magnificent carrot, George," she exclaimed. The next morning, the carrot was so big, it poked through the roof of their house. "Oh dear," said Daddy Pig, looking up at the enormous orange vegetable. It was much, much bigger than any carrot he had ever seen. The giant carrot kept growing, growing, growing. It was so big, it started to block the road. Cars couldn't pass, and even the bus had to stop. People in the town started to worry. "It's a carrot monster," cried Mr. Rabbit. Peppa knew something had to be done. This wasn't just George's big carrot anymore. It was a problem for everyone. She put on her thinking cap. How do you stop a giant carrot? She wondered. Peppa had an idea. She remembered how much George loved to eat carrots. Maybe the giant carrot just needed a little nibble. She found the biggest spoon in the kitchen and bravely marched towards the enormous vegetable. "Here I come, Mr. Carrot," Peppa declared. She took a big swing with her spoon, but the carrot was too hard. It didn't even make a dent. Peppa frowned. This was harder than she thought. Just then, George appeared, holding his little watering can. "Water, carrot," he said, and poured a tiny bit of water on the base. To everyone's surprise, the giant carrot began to shrink. It got smaller and smaller until it was just a regular-sized carrot again. "Hooray!" cheered Peppa. The road was clear and the house was safe. George picked up his perfectly normal-sized carrot. "Carrot for dinner?" he asked. And that night, the pig family enjoyed the most delicious and, thankfully, normal-sized carrot stew. Peppa Pig and the Missing Cookies. Peppa Pig loved kindergarten, especially snack time. Today, Ms. Bloom, their kind teacher, announced a special treat, delicious, freshly baked cookies. Peppa's tummy rumbled with excitement. Ms. Bloom placed a big plate of cookies on the counter, ready for snack time. "Now remember, friends," she said, "we'll have these after our painting activity." Peppa watched the cookies, imagining their yummy taste. After painting, Peppa went to wash her trotters, humming a happy tune. But when she returned, something was wrong. The cookie plate was half empty. Where had all the cookies gone? Peppa decided she needed to be a detective. This was a mystery. She put on her imaginary detective hat and peered around the classroom. Who could be the cookie culprit? First, she observed Leo, who was usually very energetic. He was quietly drawing a picture of a very big, round cookie. Peppa wondered if he knew anything. Next, Peppa watched Chloe, who was always very neat and tidy. Chloe was carefully tidying up the art supplies, humming a little tune. She didn't seem to be hiding anything. Peppa felt puzzled. Everyone seemed innocent. Then, she noticed something small and crumbly near the window. It was a trail of cookie crumbs. The trail led right outside. Peppa followed the crumbs outside, her detective hat firmly in place. The trail led to the big oak tree in the playground, and there, under the tree, was Ms. Bloom. Ms. Bloom was holding a small basket, and inside were all the missing cookies. But she wasn't eating them. She was carefully placing them into little bags. "Oh, Peppa," said Ms. Bloom, smiling. "I was just preparing these for our thank you party for the school helpers. Each helper gets a special cookie treat." Peppa giggled. The mystery was solved, and now she knew where to find extra cookies.